Hello, everyone.
Hey guys.
Happy Music Monday. We're here with Tony from ToneAlly, and it's also NAMM week, so it's perfect because the last time we saw you was at NAMM 2020.
It was, and what a strange NAMM this will be without us, because we were all going to be there, weren't we?
Yes. Mm-hmm. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm just trying to share this to the two people on my Facebook page.
Okay, cool.
But let me just you'll have to talk. You young things will have to talk me through this now. I'm on there. I can see. Whoa. Oh yeah, it's live there. So I'm going to share. Is that right?
Yeah.
Share now. Public.
Yep.
Yeah.
To the world.
To the world. Well, I think that's weird. Share to your timeline. Is that right? Is that it?
Sure.
Done?
Yeah, love it.
Go.
We love the timeline.
Right. It's good to see you all. Yeah. This is my my little headquarters, ToneAlly headquarters in Jarrow. I don't know if you've heard of the place Jarrow.
I've only heard of it because I know that's where you're based.
All right. It's a beautiful seaside town in England.
Cool.
A seaside town, that means you must have good fish and chips.
Beautiful fish and chips. Beautiful fish and chips. We're a little bit further from the sea than I'm letting on, but it's a lovely, lovely place. It's steeped in history.
Nice.
There's a very famous saint called Saint Bede, who was perhaps our greatest historian, the first greatest historian we had in England. Because you Americans have got no history, have you?
What's that?
Exactly. There you go. I think judging by your Christmas single, history began with Santa Claus. Is that right?
Yes.
Who did not? He did not put his sleigh on your roof, did he?
We got cold.
He
all
didn't
got
put
cold this year.
Not this year. He didn't put his. Yeah, I love that record. I think it's great. I think that would be a huge hit in the UK. You know, that's quirky. It's everything. Really good. I promise you. It would. Perhaps we could find an audience for that this time next year. Christmas #1.
Yeah.
By yourselves, eh?
So speaking of Santa, we have a question for you.
Yes, go on.
We've been asking everyone what animal they think this is with Santa. Can you see this picture?
Right. I'm going to have to make that a little bit bigger in here. I wonder if I can. Let's see.
Oh, wait, I could highlight Ross.
Oh, that's better. That's better. I can see. That's got to be a deer. Or reindeer.
All right, one vote for reindeer. Annie thinks it's a donkey. We're not quite sure what it is.
A very thin face for a donkey, I think.
I think it's Dominic the donkey.
I think it's a donkey.
I think it's a deer.
Donkey, a deer. Could be a deer.
Mel, would you like to start the official tally of the year?
Oh, yeah. Do we have a way to make a poll go in the chat?
I guess so, yeah.
Who took the picture and where's it from? That's the question I have for you.
Roxy.
Oh, right.
I think Mel would like to explain that one.
So we filmed a music video that has yet to be released at a puppet theater. And
right before lockdown.
And as we were packing up, there was a mad rush to pack up all the gear, and some way, somehow, this picture ended up with our stuff. And so we realized it when we got home, and we were going to go return it when we were supposed to play a show at said theater the next month. But then everything got locked down, and we haven't been able to go back. And now the place closed down. So now we have the Santa picture.
So if I get this right, it just turned up in your stuff as you were packing up. Is that right? This picture. You don't know where it came from. All right. Perhaps it is the donkey's picture. Yeah, it was the donkey that took the picture.
Maybe.
Possible.
A selfie, and it had a little like donkey PC with it, along with a donkey printer. Are you seeing those things? They're pretty good. Donkey printers and PCs, they're all the rage here, you know. Oh, yes.
Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about ToneAlly and what you guys have been up to, I guess, since NAMM? Or are you doing anything for virtual NAMM this year?
Well, certainly, I have become an artist for Welsh tuning system drums. I don't know if you've come across those, Mel at all. WTS.
Congrats to you.
Hey, oh, thank you very much. They're these drums which have. Oh, actually, you'd like this as well, Roxy, because it's got a bass machine head on the side of every drum.
Ooh.
How cool is that? So. Which effectively makes every drum into like a small timpani. You can tune.
I don't think I'd be able to play a song ever again. I'd just sit there playing with the tuning all day.
Do you know it's very tempting? But I mean, I'm tuning these things in now. Pretty cool. You know, just tune it in like you tune a guitar. It's very, yeah. So Welsh tuning systems, that's happened since NAMM January last year. And they're actually at the show, well, doing the show virtually. I am not, but I'm still sort of in the mix, as in I'm watching the show, I guess, like you guys are, you know, online. I'm still a member, what have you, so I hope to be there next year. But what's happened since last year, apart from becoming recently a Welsh tuning systems drums artist, with ToneAlly, we have the deluxe model. I have a little camera here, maybe I can switch to that one.
Oh.
Is that, yep. So we've got this one here, and this has, you like this? Well, it's got stadiometers. Now, do you know what a stadiometer is?
Is this to measure the height?
It's to measure the height, yeah. I thought, what on earth shall I call these things? You know, it sounds a bit boring if I just go a ruler. You know, height of rise, measurement, stick. So anyway, and I looked online and I found stadiometer. You're absolutely right there, Mel. And you measure like you measure a child's height against a wall. That measurement device that you would measure a child's growth is called a stadiometer. So there's the birth of the stadiometers. And so this is now on all of the deluxe. These are the new deluxe version of ToneAlly.
And now, do you use your the famous ToneAlly wiggle bars to go up to those marks?
Oh, hey, you know how this works. So there's the wiggle bars there.
I have mine right here. I need to get the new version now.
Oh, absolutely fantastic! Yeah. Did you get the wiggle bars, Mel, or not?
I didn't yet. I need to. I need to get wiggle bars and a new version.
Oh,
the OG.
Yeah. Oh, we'll sort that out, eh? Just after this.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got the ToneAlly Design 5 Deluxe, which is this one. I'll try and impress you with my camera shots.
Ooh,
Look at that.
You got a whole setup there going
Oh
on.
yeah. Well, you know what happened, and this is
Quarantine?
well. I woke up this particular morning, next to this weird-looking donkey. Actually, that's where the picture came from. No, um, I've lost my track now with that donkey. Or is it a reindeer? I think it's a reindeer.
Mm-hmm.
I released this Design 5 Deluxe. They all come with the stadiometer standard, but I have a Design 1 Deluxe coming out anytime now, so it's probably going to be mid-February, but watch out for that. The difference with that one is that it has no removable section, like yours that you've got there, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But it's made by the British Drum Company, which is a fantastic drum company in the UK, based in Manchester. And what's happened with the cameras? Yeah, I found me track now. This is where I was just before the donkey crept in. Cameras. The reason why I've got the cameras is because, obviously, because of the COVID situation and lockdown in March, it was what do we do? Because we can't get out and teach and things like that. And I still have a commitment to teaching, though it's small. And I thought, hey, I'm going to have to invest in some equipment. So I got myself a Roland AV mixer and 4 cameras. Well, I only had to buy 1 extra camera. I had little cameras around that I could use, and sort of set up. So that's all the 4 little cameras I have set up, and it's pretty good. Very good for when you're teaching and you're showing off your feet, and I'll shift that ToneAlly, and you want to show the movement of the feet and the pedals and things like that. You can do picture in picture. I can do a split screen. So that, yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very nice. Yeah. So it's all pretty good, and this is what it's just having to live with the lockdown situation. So this has happened. This has been my setup since March. We're actually having some building work on the side of the house, on the land outside of the house, to cater for the ToneAllys, which are amassed in our house. In fact, if it was to set a light, the ToneAllys in this house at the moment, you'd probably see the fire from the moon. So to keep my wife and my children happy, we're moving the products out into a new building, which is going to be completed the 2nd week of March. All going well.
And for someone that doesn't play drums or anything like that, what would you say to like everyone in the chat, things like that? Like, what is the basis of like what the ToneAlly, the system, like what is it for? I know it's for teaching, but like, can you explain like in non-drummer to a non-drummer what it is?
Annie, I'm glad you've asked the question. It's a very good question. And what it is I 30 years ago, I entered a drum competition. I'm not really into entering competitions, but it was my wife actually who said that, look, why don't you enter this drum solo competition? And I was, I'm not doing that. I've been a pro and all the rest of it. I'm not going to be doing that now. And anyway, I ended up going in for it. And I eventually I won first place in the regional finals, then the national finals. And what happened is I came up with this initial thought of making this design to help me improve my technique in the shortest amount of time, because I only had a couple of days to practice. And so anyway, I held the sticks up like this. Now, this is a bit of a tried and tested method of practicing. So you can, let me see if I can do a split screen here, and I'll do this. Hopefully, can you see that? So if you put two drumsticks like that and you put one stick in the middle, you can work on your line of stroke. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to do that, pray tell? Well, the reason you'd want to do that is because as I'd studied all of the greatest drummers, Buddy Rich, Billy Cobham, Simon Phillips, an endless list, Omar Hakim, who played with Weather Report, Sting, you name it, all the great players that I was really engrossed with and interested in, they all had this perfect line going on. You know, the sticks would go directly up and straight down, no deviation. You know, it was straight up. As this, I hope this is not going to be too loud. Shall I just play this?
Sure.
Is that okay for your ears?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I wanted to get this perfect line going on, and I thought, well, I was practicing one hand at a time in between two sticks, and I thought, what if I made something with four, sticks? That would be pretty cool. And then it later developed into this design, which I settled on after a lot of years. It developed into this. 4 alleys to accommodate all the different hand grips you can use. There's something called French grip, which if you're playing a ride cymbal or the hi-hat, you tend to use. You put the thumb on the top of the stick if you're playing the ride cymbal, and that's called French grip. If I just put the straight up, straight down, thumb on the top there, yeah? Thumb on the top of the stick. Same with the hi-hat, thumb on the top of the stick. That's called French grip. So you can practice that in the middle of the ToneAlly. And then you've got something called American grip, obviously invented by an American. And it was just made up off of the top of his head. And he was the very famous American drummer, the first great star of drums the world had, really. Gene Krupa. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Now, somebody asked him, this is from Dom Famulari, told me this story. Dom said, somebody just interviewed Gene Krupa and said, hey, Gene, everybody's using this Germanic grip. Now, Germanic grip uses 13 muscles, and it's quite wide, like that, matched grip. That's in the outside busts of the ToneAlly. That helps you to work all the correct muscle groups for Germanic grip. And this interviewer said, hey, Gene, everybody's using Germanic grip, but your hands are closer together. What's that grip called? And he said, oh, it's called American grip. He just spit it up. And this is American grip now that we all know today, which is a little bit of in between the French and the German. And that's Gene Krupa's American grip, which uses 8 muscles. Then you've got traditional grip, right-handed, left-handed. I'll just put that top view on again because you can see that a bit better. So the traditional grip is old dance bands, marching groups, what have you. Drum corps, I believe, still tend to use traditional grip, marching snare drums on their, in front of them, and so it's perfect for giving you your line of stroke. And then if you're a lefty, if you're left-handed, it works for both righties and lefties. And there's another technique that some people would tend to say, well, hang on, there's a very famous technique called molar technique, which is a whipping action. And at first sight, you would think, well, I can't really practice that on that, so it doesn't fit the mark. But oh yes, it does. There's something called half molar, where you practice a whipping action. It's like you lift like a puppet. That's an imaginary string attached to your wrist, which is an advanced technique. And you do half molar, and you simply turn the thing around, and then you can go as high as you like. Yeah. So it does everything. So that's the ToneAlly, and this is the top of the range one, of course, the deluxe. So you can actually put this one on the head of the drum or on any other surface, and you can play. And then you can put, obviously, that section back in and play nice and quietly to keep your mum happy. And then, of course, you've got these stadiometers, the lovely new stadiometers, to work at specific heights of rise. So American drum corps work at 3, 6, and say 9 inches height or 10 inches height, and then you can just put the wiggle bars, as Mel knows all about the wiggle bars. You put those there, and then you can work on specific heights so that the whole band can work at the same volume and look matched. Scottish pipe band players too. You can also work on things like shuffles and little grace notes with your left hand. Let me just should I give you a little example?
Sure.
Okay, so a shuffle would be so you've got little grace notes going on with the left there, almost inaudible, and you've got a big note with the left. Well, you can work on that by setting your ToneAlly like that. So there's for your little grace notes with the left hand, or your non-leading hand, if you're right-handed or left-handed, doesn't matter. You can set them up the other way. And I would set the wiggle bars for the leading hand at, say, 7 inches for that, for the hi-hat. And probably 3 inches for the left hand. And you've got those little grace notes you can practice.
Nice.
Yep. So that's the ToneAlly. Get one.
So where can everyone get a ToneAlly?
What a jolly good question that is now. Hey, Annie, I like you. You're fastly becoming my favourite member of the band. Used to be Mel.
Well, Mel plays the stuff. I'll help you sell it.
And then of course, we have a great connection, Roxy and I, because there's, the bass player and the drummer. There's always, there's a bond there, isn't there, Roxy? Isn't that right?
Yeah.
So there. Well, you can get them from www.toneally.co.uk. I ship them directly from here, from Jarrow in England, now to 26 countries, and with an increasing amount going to Australia and the US, would you believe? And everything is getting through. I'm really happy to say, because obviously with Brexit over here and in Europe happening, it wasn't something that I was particularly wanting to happen, but at the same time, it's happened, so we just got to live with it. I was expecting a big upheaval. There's still, a few little things that aren't quite right yet, but for me, my own personal experience is that the post is certainly working. Everything is getting there. In some instances, shipments are taking longer than they should, but I haven't had one ToneAlly not get delivered yet. So that's pretty cool, despite the COVID situation. So www.toneally.co.uk is the best place to get them. And I'll respond to you if you order one within 24 hours. Usually I'm pretty good, and I get a little ting, a little sound on my phone, and I'm straight there and let you know that I've received your order, or I'll respond to your questions. If any of your fans or any drummers out there watching this are interested in finding out any more information, just get in touch.
You heard it here, folks. Get your ToneAlly today.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you're after commission, aren't you? I just know it.
Well, yeah, because Mel's a teacher. I know she uses it also to teach with her students.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the most exciting thing, like the thing I'm most excited about getting those wiggle bars, is to help my students with flams, with the stick heights.
Absolutely, yeah. That's a really good thing to do. That, yeah, use the wiggle bars for flams.
It's so difficult for young students to really get the hang of the heights and how it needs to be different in order to get that sound. Absolutely,
and do you know, I it's something I haven't really thought about too much, doing the flams on it. But now that you mention it, Mel, it's a fantastic way to do it. I think you'd have to break it down, and just thinking aloud here. So you'd have to work one
hand at a time, yeah.
Yeah, but that would get the message across, wouldn't it? So simple though it is, but that's what it takes. The small one down just before the big note. Yeah, absolutely. Flams, yeah, wiggle bars are good.
It's funny, some of those ideas that seem so simple to an adult, you try to teach it to a 5 or 6 year old, and a tool like ToneAlly just really helps.
Yeah. Which area do you teach? Where do you teach in the US?
So right now I'm teaching through Zoom because of COVID. All my students are virtual. Yeah. But usually I go to students' houses, and I have all age ranges. My youngest is 5. I once had a 4-year-old student, and all the way up to adult. So every range.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah. Well, now, would you believe I'm still going into a school on 1 day a week? So, although I'm teaching, I've got a small commitment to teaching here, from here directly via ToneAlly, and I go into one school, a primary school, on a Wednesday. So I'm in there on a Wednesday, and it's obviously, it's children of the co-workers people who are working in hospitals and other teachers, children, etc. Um, uh, those children who are in school at the moment, and it's a lovely school in Jarrow and St Matthews. So that's I'm still actually physically going in on Wednesday, but yeah, absolutely. What it seems very easy to to pass something on to an adult, but to a 5-year-old, yeah, can leave you stumped really. So that this device, helps make some things really simple. Yeah.
Nice. Since we're in also kind of NAMM week, what's something you really miss about NAMM and something you really don't miss about NAMM?
Well, making new connections is something fantastic about NAMM. There's and I did hire a car for the first time when I was at NAMM last year, and one of the best things I really enjoyed, apart from meeting the people who I've built a relationship up with over the past 3 years of going to NAMM, like yourselves, Brian Muse and lots of other people, and seeing my good friends who I stay with when I'm over there in Orange County. And I hired a car, and I'd travel using the sat nav coming from Anaheim on an evening, and I'd stay at maybe Balboa Island. My friends have a beautiful place on Balboa Island, as well as in Orange County, and I'd either drive to one or the other, and I'd on my sat nav, in the car anyway. Last year, I'd put some classical music on, nothing rock, but just some classical music on for the drive, just something just light, and I drive, and the sat nav would say, take the next the left fork in the road, and I take the left fork, but the left fork in the road had 6 whacking big lanes. The roads are massive, you want to try some of the roads here, make us look very weedy, our roads. But so I really enjoyed, funnily enough, the relaxing drive going to my my digs on a night after the show. That was like calming down and just taking everything easy on the night time, so that I could recuperate, have a good meal, and be ready for the next day. I didn't enjoy Namthrax, they call it. Namthrax.
Now we know it's COVID.
Namthrax. It's now known as COVID. Is that where it's come from? I don't know.
Probably.
It was definitely at NAMM, and no one knew.
My word. Well, I'll tell you, you talk so much because you're meeting so many people, and everybody's, joined by an invisible umbilical cord because we're all music lovers, and you'd be talking so much that your voice would go after the second day or start to go, and you'd be feeling exhausted, and then you'd come down with a cold or a flu, and that was Namthrax. So I had that the first 2 years, and I got it on the 3rd day and the 4th day, and it was a real struggle. Last year, I was determined with my friend Brian, who came to support me, and he brought everything. I mean, hand sanitizer. Then this is last year. We're not gonna have Namthrax this year, he said, and we escaped it. So yeah, Namthrax you don't want to have, but I really, really missed making some new connections and seeing the people that I know and have built up a relationship, with people, and I love them like yourselves. It's wonderful. We'll see you each year, apart from this year. Well, we're seeing each other now, so this is cool. And, then so that's a shame not being able to see people in person, for sure. Indeed, the makers of this here drum kit, I met them at NAM in January last year, and hence a little bit further on now, a year on, and here I am playing these drums, and which is fantastic.
Absolutely.
So,
Very
yeah,
cool.
it's
And
yep. Go on.
I have to say, I saw you standing at your booth the very first time we went to NAM, and you were like the underdog. You're a small company, no one had heard about, and then I came back next year, and the first thing I did was come to say hello to you, and you were just beaming with joy. You had just sold like thousands of your product, I think, to some school in China. And every year I just keep seeing you build up the company more and more, and it's awesome to see you doing so well, and good job.
Oh, dear. Well, I can't really tell you much about this exciting thing that's happening in March, April, but I've already recorded a major interview on a big TV station here in the UK, which gets a massive audience of big numbers, millions, and but I'm not allowed to mention it or the TV station, but that's already in the can, and that goes out March or April this year. Hence, the building work and the getting prepared for upscaling even more. So, despite the COVID situation, which is terrible, and it's been dreadful for the high street. As you know, it'll be the same in the US. But thank God I've managed to keep my head above water, and I'm just really grateful that the amount of drummers, the drumming community, and the musicians out there that have supported me all the way along have continued to do so. I've just had today somebody in Italy who's reordered. He got a flat pack Design 5 at NAM, would you believe? And he's just ordered today the Design 5, which is fantastic. So that's I'm getting returning customers too, and I'm very, very proud of having 100% customer satisfaction.
Nice.
It's just it's brilliant. I've not had one person that's had a ToneAlly that's been disappointed with or said, "Hey, I don't like this. It just doesn't work. It doesn't." It's because it's so simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's made to work. There's nothing. You can't get any more low tech than this.
Yep. Nothing to go wrong.
No, it's not. Absolutely.
And I'll tell you, I actually have your original flat pack one. And
oh yeah.
You're gonna hate me for this, but I purposely never glued it.
Oh right, yeah.
I keep it to take apart and put back together because then I stick it in my teaching bag, and I can take it from house to house really easily, and then I just set it up when I get there, instead of having extra things to carry, and it works perfectly.
Mel, you had the foresight to think about that. Now, do you know that all the ToneAllys now in the future and right now, they no longer come glued. You can take them all apart, so you can, because they're manufactured that well that you can repeatedly put them together, take them apart, and it's dead easy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So it was. But initially, people were wanting them glued, and I thought that was the way to go. So I was offering them glued and as flat packs, but now they all come as flat packs, which is pretty cool because they're collapsible and you can set them up. As you say, if you're going to take them to a gig, just pack it down.
Mm-hmm.
And put it in your snake case,
Yeah.
put it in your bag, or take it to school. Yeah, put it in you know, your handbag or whatever. So yeah, it's all pretty cool, and I'm glad you've still got that. That's wonderful.
Of course.
You're ahead of the game, Mel.
I have an idea for you too for your.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk after.
Oh right.
Uh-oh.
Oh cool. Yeah. more percentages.
Here we go. Let's go.
Contract coming through.
A Jackknife Stiletto CD with each purchase. But
Oh,
that wasn't my idea, but that's another one.
Hey, Santa. I didn't see your sleigh on my roof last night. Yeah, hey. Great song. I love it.
So a quick hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube. And we had a question, someone who, for those of us just joining and are wondering what ToneAlly is all about, this is Tony, the founder of ToneAlly, and it's the world's first percussion teaching tool which focuses on the vertical movement of the drumstick. So welcome to our chat, everyone.
Hello.
If anyone has any questions, we're going to be wrapping it up in the next 10-15 minutes. So if you have any questions about anything,
Anything at all,
we may answer it. You may have your answers by the end of this. But to jump around to other things, was there anything non-musical that you did during quarantine that you never thought you would do?
I boarded out the loft in the house. Non-musical.
that's exciting.
Nice.
Yeah, jigsaw. Zzz, nailing, screwing down boards, eating loads and loads of loft insulation.
Oh.
That's not nice. The dust. Oh, it's horrible. But now it's all lovely wooden floor up there. It's all fantastic. Great storage space. So I've got that, and I even put some ladders, fold-away ladders. These telescopic ladders. The beautiful, come down. Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
Nice.
So I'm really quite happy about that. As I've mentioned as well, and just getting this building, the plans done for that as well. That's non-musical. Just getting planning certain things. My wife is delighted that she has her office back because the office was just overtaken by ToneAlly product and silent sticks. I do the silent sticks. My friend who makes Adoro drums, he makes these silent sticks, they're called. They're a fraction of the volume of a normal stick. So there's a normal stick. There's the silent stick. There's the yeah. And they feel really nice. It's really, you want to try them, Mel. They really are dead good.
Yeah, are they the same weight as a regular stick? Like it feels the same?
No, they're not. They are. No, they're lighter. They're definitely lighter. But there's something very nice about them. I mean. That's you can play them just the same as the wooden sticks, but as I say, the fraction. A fraction of the volume. Fraction of the volume. Silent. So I'm actually distributing those sticks as well in the UK, and a lot of people are buying them. It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But it's a great product as well.
So this can be found on the ToneAlly website also? Yes,
absolutely. And we also have plans, I may as well tell you, that WTS, the Welsh Tuning Systems drums, I'm looking to distribute and have some stock in the UK of these drums as well. So because I love them. So that's another thing that's going to be happening this year.
Awesome.
And so yeah, all pretty cool, all cool stuff.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Very exciting.
Mhm. Uh-oh.
What
What
happened?
was that?
Oh my
No,
gosh.
I'm just kidding.
It's not COVID, I swear.
Cover your mouth. No, I'm just kidding.
I missed that.
What's that?
I missed that one.
Oh, Mel's coughing. We're just
Oh,
saying
right.
don't spread your germs in the virtual stream, you know.
All right. I do have some. If anybody, for any drummers out there, I do have a masterclass happening in this month, the 30th of this month, and it's actually for you guys. It would be 10 till 11 o'clock or 9 till 10 o'clock. PST time. Your EST time, is that right?
Mhm.
So.
We're 5
Anyway.
hours behind you.
Right, okay. So it's all on the website anyway, but that's Dom Famularo, and so that's a great thing to do. So now his workshop, masterclass from his studio in New York, and myself, I'll be hosting it from this studio here in Jarovia. And it's actually the 4th one we've done online, so it's building really nicely. So there's limited numbers that we can take, but we can accommodate maybe 24 people max, just because we want to keep it intimate.
Mhm.
But anybody who's interested in coming along to that, by all means, get in touch. If you want to pick my brains, find out more about it, just get in touch via the website. That would be wonderful. And I've missed out a big thing that's just happened as well. I ran and organised the UK Drum Off UK, a drum solo competition, 4 categories. We had 2 finalists who won. We had a young girl. Lovely player, 6-year-old, can you believe, on drum kit, playing a 4-minute drum solo at 6 years.
Nice.
Absolutely awesome. And then we another lad who was in the open category, and they both went through to the global drum offs. That was just literally the end of last week. And they've done very well. The winners of the global were actually from Taiwan, and I can't remember the other one where they came from. Oh, I think it was Italy. But forgive me if I've got that wrong. I think it was Taiwan and Italy were 2 winners anyway. They go on to perform on the biggest online drumming presence, which is called Drumeo. In Canada, so they go to perform their solos live in person, with flights and accommodation paid for and things like that. So it's a really good thing to do. We had wonderful sponsors to help, and it was a big success. So we're going to be repeating that, and ToneAlly are going to be sponsoring that for the next year, possibly 2 years. And maybe beyond. I don't know. It's hard to look beyond 2 years at the moment.
It's hard to look beyond tomorrow right now.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
One day at a time.
What are plans?
But so I've got Dom here somewhere. I've got if anybody doesn't know what Dom's about, I don't know if you can share this on your. Have you got that up there, Annie? I don't know.
I believe so.
Let's see if it's a very short 30-second. This is Dom.
Every great drummer that you are inspired by uses these 3 techniques. All of these 3 techniques I'm going to play them totally relaxed. If you're not smiling, there's a good chance eventually you'll end up playing bass guitar. The crazy mind of Tony McNally came into play, because what Tony did was he developed a device, which you have here, which allows us to understand these three different positions.
Did you feel the contractions?
Nice.
Yeah, that's Dom Famularo. So that's happening on the 30th of this month, Saturday, the 30th of January, and that is going to be pretty cool.
Awesome.
So this is the
Every good
relaxed.
that you are inspired by
Let me just
uses these three techniques.
Uh-oh.
All of these three techniques.
it's going to play for the next till the next millennium.
I didn't do it.
There we go. Now then, so I could can I just do a little ad of a couple of things that are available on my Bandcamp and things like that. Would
Sure,
you mind?
like everything.
Time
Yeah,
to plug away.
Oh, crikey! Okay, if you can share the screen, I'll give you a little rundown of my past. So I from the age of 6, I started playing some drums with my family show group, and then started singing with the band and what have you. And we did a little bit of television in the UK and what have you. We weren't the Jackson 5 or the Osmonds. Anything that successful, but we were very popular in the UK, particularly in the northeast of England. And then after leaving my dad and like the family show group, that I went on to work with this band called the Toxic Kangaroo Babies. The Toxic Kangaroo Babies. So here's this band. I'll play you a little snippet of this. Weirdest name.
Toxic Kangaroo Babies! You try to stop the wind, and it's gonna cut you too. It's getting hot. It's getting hot. It's getting hot. It's getting hot. Say, Fargo. Need some rubber on the road. Get the man inside my cell phone. Listen to the voices in the room.
Okay, and I'm going to just so after this band, I went on to we toured. This was in the 80s, you know. I'm showing my age now, but we went on to tour with Nick Kershaw, the Blow Monkeys, Tapau, some of these bands. Maybe some of the older viewers maybe will recognise the names of. Then I went to work with this band called the Whiskey Priests, who were a bit of a punky edge like yourselves, and this is a live festival, open air festival in somewhere in Hungary. Oh, there's yours truly. This kicks in there. It's a bit of Irish for you.
Nice. Keep cutting off here.
Right, I'm trying to stop it.
That certainly looks like a lot of fun.
So anyway, that was they were a bunch of absolute nutters, but great. That was great fun, and we had a really good time with them too.
Did
That was
you
the
have
whiskey.
a band camp that you wanted to plug before we wrap it up here?
Yes. Oh, that would be good. Yeah,
Cool.
if you go to Tony McNally Bandcamp, and there's 3 albums that are on there. I'm actually working on my 4th one, and it's been obviously I've had family and a teaching career in between all of this music making, but the passion for doing it has never disappeared. It's gone away. But it's my Tony McNally Bandcamp, and there's 3 albums. I'll just give you just a little. This is how wacky my first album was. Self-indulgent, jazz, squeaky door.
Nice.
So that's the first album. I play all the instruments on that, and then I brought out this album called The River, and this is more orchestral and classical in feel. And then that they're all available on there. I'm playing that, but it's just not one to play. But never mind. That's more of a classical album. Then I've got an album of songs.
Just another day, I wake up in the afternoon. So I ask myself, how much longer can this go on?
Etc. Anyway, that's all there. If you're interested in checking them out, please do. Cool. I've got a YouTube channel there as well. Finally, so I'll have a little that out, and there's bits and pieces with. This is a 2-minute excerpt of me doing various instruments.
Well, it keeps cutting up.
It's beautiful. Wings and calls come drop the seashore.
Okay, and that's all there. Bandcamp, YouTube, check it out.
Will do. Well,
Hey, it's
thank
been
you
a blast.
so much for joining us.
It's been fantastic, and hopefully this time next year in Nam, you'll be playing at Nam. Oh, that would be nice. Did you play at Nam last year? Yeah, I thought you did. Yeah, I didn't get to see that, but you're playing there next year. I'll be there at the front, jumping around like that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure talking to you. And again, hopefully we'll see you in person next year. Everyone check out ToneAlly.co.uk and make sure to get your ToneAlly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we'll see you guys all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye, guys.
you. Bye. All the best.